For the first Valentine's Day DIY sign, I'm going to use this sign that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove the canvas from the frame. So I need the frame for this sign, but I don't need the canvas, so I'm just going to cut this off with an X-Acto knife, and you don't have to worry about messing it up or anything because we're not going to be using it for this project. And now that the canvas is totally removed, I'm going to use my Waverly Antiquing Wax to stain the frame. So I'm just going to rub this all the way around the frame. And this frame is not made out of wood, so it didn't stain with a wood grain. But that's alright, I just wanted to make it a darker color. And to decorate this sign, I'm using these Valentine's Day wood heart cutouts that I got from Hobby Lobby. And the pack comes with 4 different sized wood hearts. So I'm going to use all 4 different sizes, and I'm painting them red and pink using Waverly chalk paint in the colors Crimson and Ballet Slipper. So I just painted about half of each of the different sized hearts red and the other half light pink. And for the back of the frame, I'm using a thick poster board, and so I'm just going to go ahead and trace out the frame and then cut this out. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue the poster board paper to the back of the frame. And this poster board had a shiny side and then a matte side. So you're going to want the matte white side to be the side that will be showing on the other side of the frame. So when you glue it on, make sure the glossy side is face up, and that side will be the now back of the frame. Alright, now I'm going to space out all of the hearts that I painted. So I just kind of laid these out how I thought it looked the best, and it doesn't really matter where you place them. I just kind of spaced out the different sized hearts, and then I tilted them one way or the other and just kind of placed them randomly where I thought it looked good. Then once you have all of your hearts laid out roughly where you want them to go, you're going to start gluing them on one by one. And to glue them on, I put some glue on a little piece of poster paper, and then I took a toothpick and added the glue onto the back of each of the hearts. That way you don't have a big glue mess everywhere. And here is how the finished DIY Valentine's Day heart sign turned out. For the next DIY, you're going to need a square-shaped frame, and I'm using this one from Dollar Tree, so I'm going to pop off the back of the frame, and I'm going to paint the frame with some light gray paint. And I don't recommend using this particular frame because it is a shiny surface and the paint did not stick well to it. So I would get a different frame, maybe a wood one if you can find one from Dollar Tree. But I just made this work because it's all of that I had on hand. And once the frame was painted gray, I dry brushed on some white paint to add a distressed look to the frame. Next, I'm using this black and white checkered pattern from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to go ahead and trace out the back of the frame onto this paper and then cut that out. And then to glue on the paper, I just went ahead and used a glue stick. That way I don't get any wrinkles in my paper or anything. And then I just pop this back in the frame. And I'm using this wood heart that I got from Michael's to add in the frame. So I'm just going to start by painting it with this red Waverly chalk paint, and it is the color Crimson. Next, I dry brushed on some white paint so that the heart matches the distressed look of the frame. And to finish up this sign, I glued on the painted heart to the middle of the frame, and that's it for this one. It was a pretty simple little DIY. Next up, I'm using this house-shaped sign that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove the paper from the front of the sign. And I started by peeling it off, but I quickly realized that this was not going to be the best method. So I ended up soaking the whole sign in some warm water for a few minutes, and then I was able to easily scrape off the paper from the sign. Now the little roof piece did come off while I was removing the paper from the sign. That's okay because now we don't have to paint around it. So I'll just glue it back on once I finish painting the sign. And I'm going in with some white paint to paint the whole sign. And once I finish painting the house sign white, I glued the roof piece back on. To decorate this sign, I'm adding on the saying "Love lives here." So I use my Cricut to cut out "lives here" in a capitalized font, and I am adding this to the bottom right corner of the sign. And I also cut out the word "love" in a cursive font with some black vinyl, and I'm going to add this above the "lives here." And I made this one a little bit bigger. And I'm using one of these wood hearts from Dollar Tree to add to this sign as well. So I decided to add on the red sparkly heart, and I'm gluing this to the bottom left corner of the sign. And to finish up this sign, I wrapped a piece of twine around the middle of it and tied this in a little bow to fill in that middle section and add another little detail to it. And here is the finished house sign. This last Valentine's Day project isn't really much of a DIY, but I had this sign from Dollar Tree laying around in my craft stash for a couple of years, and I wanted to make something with it, so I cut out this Happy Valentine's Day saying with my Cricut and some white vinyl, and I just applied this to the middle of the heart, and that's literally all I did. I just needed to add a saying, and I think this looks cute as a little sign. I didn't really want to like redo it or anything or add anything crazy. I just wanted to add a little saying to it.